And we're live on a Friday, then Saturday, Sunday. What in the fuck? What's up, everyone? Welcome, new people. Hey, that's our jingle jangle on a Friday. That's our shadow work call. Welcome to the Dark Night of the Soul. I am the hostess with the mostest, the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer. Which should we bring out? I have no idea. We'll just sit with what we got here. Your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil. I am your messenger of God, first child of God, the Lilith reincarnated, here on a Friday. Yeah, I blocked you. I was trying to find some cards. We'll take one of those, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Typically on a Friday, when I pull the shadow cards, I pull out like a whole bunch of them. Fine. All fine. What's up, new people? Yo, 2,500 people. What's up, yo? And I was checking the stats. It's still all dudes. That's cool. That's cool. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. Your bitch ain't gonna like me anyways. In order to keep up with me, you would add what I just posted on my community page. My shorts, which was actually interesting. It's limited though, so I don't know if you can see it. I share this shit for references. And my last live video. I didn't do anything today because I was busy today being busy catching up and shit. I was blessed and highly favored. How'd your guys' 808 go? You guys' lion gate that you guys are all we're all blessed and alright, we'll do a Kelly card. Blessed and highly favored. No, we're not doing a Kelly card on a set note. I mean, we'll do that tomorrow. I'm trying to pull out, hold up people. I guess we'll just stick with what we got. I need a guidebook. Alright, so new people, what we do over here, especially on a Friday, is we face shadows. Which shadows? A part of you that's hidden, that you deny, that you persecute, that you project onto other people. You're like, what is that? Oh yeah, I was going to teach you about astral travels. We'll do that tomorrow. We're not astral traveling today. We have to stay grounded in the bullshit today. What am I looking for, God? I'm so spaced out. Hold on. Looking for a guidebook. Got it. So let's see. There was a build-up all week. We were dealing with Scorpio, which was I was literally dealing with a fucking Scorpio. We were dealing with sexual alchemy and all of that. So my shadow during the week was, there was a freak leak inside of me that I was denying. The reason I was denying it is because this damn bitch only wants one man. And that's kind of fucking pathetic if you know the man. Really? I mean, I've yet to see why anyone would want this man. But anyways, I mean, I spent a lot of time trying to figure that out. If I could just figure out what it was, I could replicate it. If I could figure out what I was attracted to, I couldn't fucking figure that out to save my life. I just tried to avoid it. And so that's what I spoke of. There's all kinds of great testimonies all week about how I've spent like 3 years trying to get over this shit. And why can't I figure this shit out? Because the attraction itself is a sexual attraction, apparently. Right? I just want to it didn't look that way, but I see the pattern that every time I get with him, it becomes sexual. And that was the whole freaking curiosity about the whole situation to begin with. It's like, why you? Not just why you, but unbelievably, it's somebody. Right? So here's the deal. All of my sexual trauma, I am not attracted to men, and there was a lot of this, I'm never going to get married, I'm never going to be with a man for the rest of my life because of what I'd been through. Then this ding-a-ling comes along, and I look back at it, and I look back at the lesson I learned today, and it's exactly the same shit. So what happened? He was just a fuckboy at my job that was fucking all these bitches, and he just kept coming after me, and I felt like I was just going to have to rock this little boy's world. Really? That was my mindset then. And, when it really comes down to it, that's exactly what happens every time I see him. I'm just going to fucking blow you, and I'm just going to blow your mind here, little dude. In the sense of, I really just I looked at the pattern. I was mortified by it. Like, why the fuck? Why did I do that? I don't know. That I can't really understand, other than the fact that I feel that I've seen that I'm in full control, and that's something that I seem to like after everything. So perhaps that's it. But whatever the case may be, I've been dealing with this for like 3 years, my first twin flame, and I'm like, dude, I hate this. Every time he comes up. Every time. And then I try to reach out, and it's always some, let's fuck shit. Okay, fuckboy. You're married. So I had put this constraint around myself where I couldn't fuck him because he was married, And because I shouldn't be fucking anyone that I'm not married to. So I put all of these rules around me and shit. And you can watch the whole videos throughout the shit for 3 years. And that's where it is. He's not budging. I'm not budging. He just wants to fuck. And I'm not going to fuck him under the conditions that they are. So it's just round and round and round we go. It's so fucking annoying. Then when we do get together, it always ends up something sexual. Right? Right. So I was dealing with that this week. And I fucking just came to the realization. And it was like, you know, I'm denying a huge part of me, a shadow part of me, which should be just a primordial part that everyone has, but because of my pain and suffering, it just has not been able to exist, which is just my sexuality. Ta-da! So I see that, and I see that it wants to get loose with this person, and then I sit there with it for a couple of days, and I realize, you know, that's the whole gift about this relationship. And it was kind of my twin flame relationship with Marshall that helped me to understand that. And that's where it was. With each of my twin flames, all I have to do is love them, right? So with this one, I want to love him, but I won't let myself because of conditioning, right? This one and fucking Russ. Oh, Jesus. It's pride. It's all pride. Pride and ego. Pride and prejudice, if you will. In the sense of, you know what I mean? You have to watch the videos. It's like, I won't do this. This is morally wrong. This is my own rule. I'm not breaking my own rules. And that's what this whole ascension is breaking the rules and pushing yourself out of limitations and out of boundaries. So I'm looking at it like this, and I'm like, you know, that was my biggest pattern and mistake with all of the men, is trying to make the relationship more than it was instead of just accepting what it is, right? So Russ and I, what it is what it is. But I didn't want to accept that. I figured, and that's the same thing, the loop I was going with Bobby. It's like, figured if I did something, I finally hit a place, it would just go away. You can't make them go away. And what you really want to go away is just the feelings that you have for them. Why? Because it hurts your ego. What does that mean? It hurts your pride. You don't want to be tied up with these kind of people. My dog is like super snoring. You hear her? So that was the situation. So I had to give into it with Russ. I had to just love him because it was driving me crazy. And when I finally did, it was funny because when I gave it to him, he was terrified of it and he runs from it every single time I give it to him. I was like, all I had to do was love you more to make this all stop. That's all I have to do. I'm so serious. If I go and love on him, he'll go fucking berserk for like a week. And I feel, and all I want to do, that's what's happening, is there's all of these built up emotions. You think they're hate or something, but it's just love. I just want to love you. So if I let it out, then I'm free and it's done. And that's what I learned. That's what's stupid, is I should have learned this already, but I haven't. I won't just let it out. I won't just love Bobby. Why? Because it becomes sexual and I become condemned for it. Doesn't this sound very un-Lilith? Right? And I'm like sitting back 2 days ago, I'm like, guys, if I let this shit out, I think it was yesterday, the day before yesterday. It's like, if I let this out, I can't put her back in. So I sat there with it and I looked at it and I was like, so that's it? Just, you really are? And that's what I looked at it. I was like, God just made, you know, the attraction is just so I can heal. Which is what? My sexual trauma. There had to be somebody that I felt, you know what I mean, a desire to keep pushing my limits of trying to get close to a man. And it happens to be this man. Now, here's what's fucked up. Morgan said something, and I'm looking at another shadow. Even though I dealt with this shadow yesterday, I want to tell you something. It's combined. She closed one only to face another. A new level to a new devil. She said something unbelievable. I can't remember exactly what words because it was like the first thing in the morning. But she said something to the effect of, maybe he's afraid of your rejection after the conquest. We're really good friends. She really gets me. She tells me the truth. I tell her the truth. She's not afraid to put me in her. So I was like, oh, you really made me seen right there. And I looked at it like that, too. I didn't see it as that. So here's what happened. Here's what you don't know. I was like, all right, fine. If that's all I'm supposed to do and I keep running for it, fine. Fine. And that's what just keeps happening. There's a video of me around Christmas where I'm crying, and they're really encouraging me to go hook up with this guy, and I'm like, I can't do this. And I'm crying to Jesus, what am I supposed to do? And I just can't do it. So then finally I reach out. And it doesn't end up like that, but, well, eventually. But in the sense of, I don't want to reach out because it always ends up all about that. But yet, I don't have that with anyone else. So, it's interesting. You got to understand from the beginning. Here comes a guy that makes me want to break my own rules. That makes me want to... Whatever. That makes me want to, try again. Or at least, whatever the mindset was, I was willing to go into the bedroom again. And that's it. And I remember doing it with the idea of conquest. I'm going to fucking... I'm going to blow your mind. I'm going to be the best thing you ever had, and I'm going to be done with you. And that's kind of, you know, that was always my attitude towards him in the beginning. But I don't know how, that was my attitude in the beginning, but I don't know how we ended up having so many escapades, sexcapades that he talks about, because I don't have the memory. So I'm like, fuck. He said we had a lot of sex, like 12 times. I'm like, in like years? Like how many times? What are you fucking talking about, bro? Jesus Christ. Anyways, with that being said, so I'm looking at this whole situation and I'm like, well, that's it? Instead of trying, if I just accepted it for what it was and didn't try to make it more. And that's where I had to face with Marshall. Is, if we don't become more, then when, you know what I mean? Am I going to give this up if it doesn't become more? And that's where I learned to go back and rehash these relationships where I was wrong to want more than what we do have. Because what we do have is special. Right? And in essence, it's like, I don't know if the sex is special, but the attraction and the excitement that happens within me and all of that is special because, again, it's a broken part of me, a hidden part of me, a shadow part of me that doesn't live. And yet it's attracted to this person. So I was like, all right, start the pool. Let's find out if I'm going to fuck this guy or not. And I was like, all right. And I sat with it. And the only reason I wasn't going to was because I was afraid. So I said, fuck it. I'll face the fears. You fucked him? No. I was making plans to. But then I saw something happened that changed everything. In doing it and giving into it, I took back I don't know. It just shifted. It just completely shifted. Everything shifted. He said something that he said two things that I think he wished he didn't say. And he couldn't take back. And it ended the conversation. Really? Really? The first one, I still can't understand why he said it. I don't know why he said it. I'm still trying to decide if I want to say that online. But the second thing he said to me was his wife tracks him. And I was like, what? He said, yeah, because he travels for work. So, he says so that he doesn't end up dead on the side of the road. And I say, whatever helps you sleep at night. And he fires back to me and he says, save your judgment for a motherfucker who cares. And I knew something was wrong there. Why? Because he doesn't cuss at me. He doesn't fire back. He just shuts down. But he just went off. I didn't even say anything. I could have, and I think he knew I could have. I could have tore this whole situation apart. But I looked at it like this. I was like, I feel like you're a previous offender on this one, bro. And in the essence, the day before I had seen a visual of getting caught. So I'm like, no. Now you've confirmed to me that it's destined to be. And in the essence of, what the fuck? Hey, to my future husband, I don't think we should do that. I don't think you need to track me. I think you should always know where I am. I don't agree with that. And I think he knew I was going to say something. What? You have your wife tracking me? You're tracking you? What? This is why I keep meeting you at job sites and shit. This makes sense now. This makes sense now. In the essence of, I was like, I mean, that was kind of a conversation ender. And it was really funny because when I gave into it, it's like, it was almost like he had the power. But when I took it back, I was like, fine. If all you can give me is a good night, then make it a great night. This is what I want. And I said it. I want all of this. And then he couldn't, again, I can't be the guy you want. No, he didn't. He just disappeared into the dust. I was like, what happened?
It's no internet. I just got the message.
I know, I forgot to pay the bill. Just use the Wi-Fi. I just realized it.
All the way in here. I have to be right next to
Alright, then don't use your phone. Good God. I just realized that. That's when I got a message of. I was like, fuck, I forgot to pay the bill yesterday. Which I could walk up to the store and do it right now. But anyways, that really happened. Are you serious? Yeah, I tried to fight the fear, and I did. I totally did. I was like, fine. But then it wasn't even real. It wasn't even real. In the sense of, it was really funny because, okay, going back to what Morgan said. She's like, dude, what if you do it and it's just bunk? I was like, what? She's like, yeah, bro, I'm serious. And I was like, talk to me, bro. I have no memories. I was like, talk to me. She's like, it's not always what you think, dude. Seriously. She's like, seriously? So then, like, she has this conversation, girl-to-girl conversation with me. Then I talk to him, and he says something very personal about himself and sex. And it was very, I don't know if I want to repeat that. I don't know why you said that. I don't know why you said that. I know you're listening. I don't know why you said that to me. Maybe it was, all I can think of is your insecurities, or somebody said it to you. But I don't know why you said it to me. That was weird. What was he saying? He was trying to prepare me for the fact that it might not be as good as I hope. I was like, I don't know what it is, but I keep wanting it. That's what I said. I was like, I don't know what it is, but I keep wanting it. So, you know what I mean? Let's do it. And in my back of my head, she was right. I'm thinking, if I just do this, just go all out, then it'll be over. That's all I need to do. That's all I need to do. I keep thinking, up until this point, I keep thinking he just wants to fuck me and he'll be good. And then it switched in my head and I realized I just need to fuck him and I'll be good. Is what happened. And I was like, okay, cool. So then I go through it, and then what's really interesting is he Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hides me. I'm talking to him all day, but then after work, he disappears. And Morgan says the same thing. She's like, maybe he was drinking. That's all you think. I was like, what else could it be? I was like, he goes from day to night. He's one person during the day and a totally different person at night. I was like, these are all fucking red flags like a motherfucker, right? And I realized what was happening. And I just sat back and I watched this. So I've already gone through all of these shadows, but I'm facing a new one because she called me out. It's all a conquest. And I need to be careful because I see people as you're just a fucking lesson to my healing. You're just here for my empowerment. I'm going to get what I need out of you and I'm going to move on. You're just here to teach me a lesson and I'm going to get it and I'm never going to talk to you again. Is that not my attitude, Miss Knight of Wands over here? So she was right. And she said that he was probably afraid of that, which is true because it comes up in the cards. I'm going to leave you before you leave me. And that's what I did in the past. I was sleeping with him. And then, you know, this girl with a baby shows up and I'm out. And I sleep with him and I'm out. Now you go back to where I was in that state of mind. I'm a single mother and I'm trying to recover and I'm having a little boy toy here that makes me feel good about myself and I have a little bit of intimacy. So that's that whole cougar relationship that lives on in other women and shit. So you see this, and it makes healthy sense back then. But when I wake up, I have no understanding of what this is. Now, looking at it 3 years later, it made sense. You know what I mean? As a cougar and as a single woman and as an older woman, you're not looking for a man to come in and play daddy. You don't want a husband. You don't want anyone to interfere with your independence. You just want to have, as Taz says, I don't need a boyfriend. I just be bored. Occasionally, we need a little bit of attention and affection. Now, as you hear me say this as a woman, is that not a mentality? So you go back to these videos, and again, I remind you, when they're talking about the divine masculine, you better be listening, because that's what I'm acting out of most of the time. My doings are my masculine, my feelings are my feminine. So if you're not paying attention to the balance, you're not catching the whole message in any of those messages. So anyways, he shuts down. And I realized, I was like, first off, that's what I said. First off, should I be concerned about your emotional or mental state? I am a healer of over 1,700 men, but I can't do anything with you unless you talk about it. And I was like, I used to take it personal when you would do this, but I see that this is just what you do when things get difficult, because we haven't even slept together and you're already freaking out. I thought it was me that was freaking out. I do know now that I was just mirroring his low vibrations. And I catch him a lot. I catch his feelings a lot. A lot. That's what'll bring me to the fucking DMs all the time. You're in my intuition. I can feel you. I can hear you. What do you want? You'd be like crying in the dark and shit. Anyways, so I went to give into it, but it turned out to, all I got was my power. That's what I said. I thought I had to touch you to demolish you. I guess I do not. You'll be touching yourself for the rest of your life. So, I kind of, just accepted that this is just me, and I have a strong sexual vibe that just needs a good place to fucking, vibe. Is what I accepted, right? So we went through all of that, right? And it's really funny. Again, my next shadow is dealing with this. I look at people as conquests. You're just here for a reason in the season. Therefore, I don't get attached, and I stand off. There's a wall. She caught me on something right there. I felt it. I felt conflicted when she said it. Now, what's really funny, I'm sitting in my car. This is where it goes. I was like, once we unleash this shit. So I'm sitting in my car, and I'm chilling, and this dude, every time he sees me, he lights up. He'll actually go out of the way to come over and say hi and smile. I don't really think nothing of it. I never, ever did. So I'm sitting there in my car, and he walks up. I'm burning sage in the window. He's all, Mota? I was like, no. He's like, no, you want to smoke some weed? And I was like, oh, okay. And he passes me the fattest joint, bro. Like, it's the fattest joint. Like, who rolls a joint that fat? It's like, it's fat as a blunt. And I'm hitting it, and he's like, how old are you? I was like, how old do you think I am? And he's all, 35. I was like, I'm 42. He's like, man, if I wasn't married, I'd make you mine. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, I love you. Quiero mucho. I was like, really? And I was like, here, take your joint back, dude. He's like, okay, bye. Love you. That's what he said in English. I love you. It's not bad because I say I love you to everybody. Like, everybody. But it was really funny. It's like, bro, I don't think his wife's tracking him. If I wanted a man, I could have a man. And I promise you, this dude, not even 30 years old. He's got a beautiful smile, too. And it was really funny today. I was just excited because my fucking car was going to get running and everything was going to. So I was messing around with Red, and I just kept flipping him off all day. So what is your deal? I was like, I'm showing love, like Eminem. I'm already vibing. And that's where it is. It's like once you let it out, here it is. Which is what? It's an attraction. It's not a chase, it's an attract. There's a part of me that wants something from the universe, so it's attracting what I want. Very funny. Anyways, but let's go back to this thing, right? That was it was really funny. It's not. I can laugh about it now, but it was so torturous to be the priestess and be an honorable woman and not give in to these desires and not do this. Just go meet him and be a friend. Don't do anything, don't do anything. Just be, I was like, fuck it, bro. I'm just gonna be wild, bro. Like, so wild. Like, I got like a bag of condoms over here. How long can you go? Seriously. I was like, and then I was like, it got a little wild in the DMs. And that's where it is. It's like when it came down to it, he couldn't perform. Why? Because of his own self-limit. Like, he knew, bro, he knew when he sent that message that not only did he look pathetic, but this is pathetic. And then what he said before, I have no idea why he said that. It was something to the effect of like, I'm being protective of his feelings. It's like something to the effect of, I might not be as good as you hope. Like, straight out the bat, that's what he says. Like in the essence, it's like you're telling someone, I'll do my best, but don't be mad if it's not as good as you hoped. It's like, that's how you approach the game. Like, with no confidence, with like no, I don't know, it was weird to me. And I look back at it and I'm like, somebody must have put that in your head to where now you don't have the confidence and you have to give people a warning that, and who said that? Probably your wife. I don't know. There's too much going on there and I didn't want to be part of it anyways. But in essence, I told you, in order to get out of it, you have to go through it. And that's what I thought. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to fuck this guy. I was like, fine, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of this guy. Fuck it. I had this great plan. And then my plans got ruined. But that's okay. In the essence, it was like a full moon. Everybody knows that's my fantasy. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna fucking ritually fuck the shit out of you under the full moon. Pulling out candles and all kinds of shit. Anyways, it didn't happen. Whatever. We'll wait for the next one. God's not giving up on me. Alright, we're gonna go. This is really funny. We're gonna go through my my Murder Crow Tarot. The Hangman. I mean, it was really funny. It was really funny. I was like, it's a booty call. Pick up the phone. Bing, bing, bing. The number you have reached is no longer in service. I think it's funny, bro, because the roles just reversed as soon as I changed my mentality about it. Once I stopped running from it and ran at it, there was nothing there. Really? 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 What am I gonna do with that? That is crazy, bro. That is crazy. Alright, do you know what that is? Everybody knows what that is. That is the Hangman. I'm wondering why we're here with it. Is it the Hangman? It should be the Hangman. Yep. Caught. Your feet are bound and your body hangs in the void. You struggle. You cry out. But the only answer is the mocking cry of the crows. In this place of loneliness, you still have yourself. Bide your time. Let the bonds become your anchor. In the stillness, your unbound spirit flies free. From the new vantage point, the world may seem strange to your eyes. Perhaps it was always this way, and it took an unexpected inversion for you to see it for yourself. Keywords: vulnerability, stillness, new point of view. That's what happened, bro. It was just, and I've had many of these situations where God's like telling me to fight a fear. And then when I walk towards it, I don't actually have to do anything. Like, I'm seeing this one. I don't know why that one. Hey, look on the back of this. Do you see the beetle? Didn't I just get one yesterday? I put it back there, remember? I told you. That's why the beetle came. Synchronicities. You're like, you're playing with bugs? I mean, I was guided to bring it up here. Now we know why. I mean, no, it had to do with the Egyptians, too. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. I got invited to go to this award ceremony, but at the award ceremony, we're going to be all the artists from my studio that I had funked with. And I'm like, God, don't make me fucking go to this bitch-ass shit. I don't want to face these people. I don't want to face these people. I just want, you know what I mean? You don't want to face the past. You just want it to die. Just leave it how it is. Fuck it. Nah, bro. So God gets me. I'm finally like, alright, fine, I'm gonna go. And then as I get ready to go, I don't have to. But you have to be willing to walk through the door, and then he'll close it. And then sometimes you have to walk through the door. This isn't the first time. It's happened a lot of times, and I'm grateful for when it does. I don't have to repeat a full pattern. All I had to do was walk at it. But I thought I had to. I thought I had to, and when Morgan said that, I thought I had to get disappointed. It's not like I wasn't going to be. But I thought that based on what he said, and she said, and what people say, I thought that's what was going to happen. I was like, alright, well, I'm going to go out and perform the best I can. I'm going to see what I can do. I want to see what happens. There's a pattern in me that knows how to act in the bedroom. So I wanted to see what would happen. We'll have to save that for another viewing, I suppose. So, different point of view. Initiation. I initiated it this time. Powerlessness. A vision quest. A deserved punishment. I found it very poetic, too. Again, the 818 portal opened, and he went silent. Never heard from him again. I watched all of them. I wanted to see how this affected everybody. Because, again, every fucking year, for who knows how long, spiritualists are running around saying that today's your day. Today's your day. You're gonna get blessed. I got blessed. I live the life I deserve. Blessed. What's up, Big Sean? I know you're heavy duty in the energy, bro. But you yourself are another married man that needs to back the fuck up and go deal with your fucking relationships. I am fully aware of how heavy you're in the relationship. I mean, I brought you in, but, you know, which will take it easy over there. I just was watching everyone. I watched to see if this was true. Everybody swears by it, but let's see all you fake spiritualists. I watched these tarot readers put out these Lionsgate fucking portal fucking readings and all this fucking bullshit and shit. And I watched to see if there was any truth. I'm looking for truth. I'm looking for testimonies. I'm looking for proof of life. What I said happened. What I said was going to happen. Now, again, and that's what I told Morgan, when it rains, it pours. So it's just starting for me. What's starting for you? And that's what I watched today. You are going to go back into your lessons. I thought I was going to have to too. It's like, you haven't learned this lesson with him yet. And that's what I wanted to figure out. Why? All you have to do is figure out the attraction. And give into it. That's all I had to do. And that's what it was with Russ. It wasn't about marrying Russ. It was about just giving Russ love from God. It wasn't about marrying Allie. It's just about loving Allie. Loving Lewis. I love them. In a non-physical way, but I love the shit out of them. And there was no reason not to love them. I get upset with them because they can't be more. But I get upset with everyone because they can't be more. And that's where I go back to this situation. So, I'm not hanging around anymore. Are you hanging around? I feel like that's a good looking hangman. So where do we go from here? Where are we supposed to go from here? We're gonna go through the freaking ascension until we feel like this is where we are. Oops, I threw my book. I gotta pay my phone bill. I gotta go do that real quick. Dumbass. Yeah, dumbass. The wheel? No, we went through the wheel. That's not where we are. This one, what's the number down there? We went through justice. We went through the hangman. Oh, it's death. That's funny because I asked Morgan, I was like, Morgan, you've been doing your tarot. She's like, I took a couple days off. I pulled one yesterday. I said, what'd you pull? She said, the death card. I was like, so did I. Congratulations, you're a tarot reader. That's all. It's endings, bro. It's over. And now he has come, the herald of all endings, the angel of oblivion. Black wings spread above him, blotting out the stars. It is the silence between one word and the next. Do you see what happened? Let me tell you what happened. It went to I can't, that it's all me and I can't, to it's you can, and these are all you. And I go back to, and I stand on what I say. You accused me of being the devil. You're the devil. And I told him, this is what my last text said. Really? I'm a Holy Spirit, but you're a whole fucking ghost. But that's what it seemed like. It seemed like it was me holding back. And I was the problem. And I couldn't just get with the flow. I couldn't just get with the program, right? All right, let's get with the program. And then you open up the program and you realize, whoa, bro. Everything I said was right. Everything I said was right. It was never me. It was always you, bro. It wasn't me freaking out. It was you freaking out all the time because you were freaking out about all of this. I had nothing to fear. I had nothing to lose. I wasn't doing anything wrong. And that's what Morgan pointed out. She walks in. She's your problem, not mine. This is all between you and her. I have nothing to do with any of this. It's just funny. Black wings spread above him, blotting out the stars. It is silence between one word and the next. He is time, the great devourer. It serves no purpose to struggle against the door he closed before you. Your task now is to find a new path. On page 33. I don't. But that's what it is. I couldn't call it in until I had, you know what I mean, gone through the door. I couldn't close the door. That's what I was trying to do, is close this door. I've been trying to close this door for 3 years. I've opened it wide. Now, every time it's like, every time he comes at me, it's going to be like, all right, Scaredy, you want to fuck? Or is your wife coming? Is your wife still tracking your phone? You going to be able to fuck me this weekend? That's what I realized. It was never me. It was him. Him playing around like I couldn't do it. You can't. You're the one that can't perform. And you even said it. You said, don't be so... And that's what she said, too. It's like, I don't know. And that's what I remember. It being a bunch of quickies. Me making you come. I don't have no memories of any of this. I don't know if you... That's what it is. I don't know if you're going to make me come. Are we in a dirty conversation? Well, at least it's late night. Anyways, your task now is to find a new path. Keywords: closure, closing the present chapter, sickness and weakness, fear of change, the chance for something new to grow out of the ashes of the old. That's what I figured. It's either going to end right here or we're going to start something new on this one. Something's going to happen. If this happens, it's either going to end or start something new. No matter what, if I do this. And those are those destructive moments, bro. You realize that if I say this, there's no going back. And I told you, if I wanted him, I could. Every time I offer, he's there. But under such restrictions, because he's under, you know what I mean? And I just want to point this out. What are you doing? Let me just stop. I don't want to say anything mean. I'm trying not to say anything mean. That's all I'm trying to do nowadays. So, yeah, that was the end of that conversation. And again, did I get a man? Nope. That's what I said. Well, fuck. Going back to using my dildo, I guess. One day. We'll master that guy. Temperance. Dark wings apart. To reveal the face of the angel. She pours a healing draught into the golden chalice, and you pray that she will lift it to your parched lips. She has poured out just enough to restore you, and that is the secret that she has come to teach. In a life filled with need and longing, it is a great gift to know the meaning of enough. To be, to do, to just have enough gives your body a new sense of balance, and you are finally light enough for your own wings to lift you up. Keywords: all things in moderation. Virtuous behavior. A middle path between extremes. Consider all sides of the situation. That's where I was. If I'm not budging, you know what I mean? So I realized it was my rigidity. I couldn't do it unless it was under these circumstances. So I was like, all right, if I took away the circumstances that I put, the rules that I put on myself, could I do it? I was like, what else is holding me back? If it's just, is there fear or just these rules? So I was like, all right, eliminate the rules and face if there was any fear. And then as I thought about it, I got scared. I was like, what if he really does? No. I would have faced it, I mean, obviously. And then again, as Morgan said, it could have been extremely disappointing. That's what Amizi said. When I woke up and I said I had no memories of any sexual encounters, he said, well, must have all been trash. Maybe. Hey, there's a sexy card. What do we got here? That's definitely not the tower. I guess that would be the star. That's what I was trying to do, some fun shit like that. You have followed the bird through the plains of dust and dreams. Is that the right card? Nope, that's definitely not that card. Is this the lover's card? My cards are mixed up. Have you noticed? Hold on a second. I'm confused. Where is this? This is Judgment? No way, bro. Oh, yeah, I was like, no way, that's not Judgment. Somebody already knows. Wolfman knows what that card is while I'm over here looking through the book. He's like, I know it is. Yeah, but you don't know how to. Just kidding. It really is. No way. Because we did the wheel. That's what happened. How did they get mixed up? Does anybody know how they got mixed up, though? Now I'm curious. I'm really curious now. Anyways, it's the Devils. I'm curious, because the tower is... I don't know. We must have pulled the cards out in a different way. Alright, the Devils. In the darkened halls of the demon lord Malphus, the night closes around you, binding you to what is before and behind you. Now the world is only what you can feel, what you can touch and taste. You hear only what shadows whisper to you. There is much pleasure to be found here where the senses dominate, but the shadow uses your pleasure and relief to forge golden chains that imprison your free will. The longer you listen, the harder it is to block the sound, the harder it is to be, it will be to regain your own mind. That's what I realized, right? So it was my mind fighting about this. So I had to go through the mind to figure it all out. And then I went through the heart to open it up. Keywords: domination, addiction, valuing flesh and the material world. Above all else, seeking pleasure, giving in to the shadow. That's what I tried. We didn't make it that far. Could have been great. But in the essence, those were the same two cards that I pulled out before. We pulled out the Devil, and we pulled out Death. And then we pulled out the Queen of Swords. That's a really good card. Mine looks better than yours, Wolfman. Always. So then we did have the tower. And that's exactly what we're at. The tower fell. All days the bird have squawked omens of doom, black-winged prophets urging you to flee. You hear the roars and feel the crackle, the air crackle, as the lightning bolt strikes the palace walls. Stone shivers around you. It cannot hold. One moment. No. No. And no. You're done. Turn the phone off. I'll have them on in the morning. Go to bed. You're not going out there. I said no.
Why not?
Because I said no. I said no. I'm not going to argue with you at fucking midnight. Stay in this place of opulence, a voice whispers. Here you have been safe, but the birds, warning, screech in defiance, ringing truer to the honey-sweet words. You seek the door as beams creak and moan. Keywords: imminent disaster, a shake-up in the natural order, a chance to relinquish old ways of thinking. Uncomfortable truths rise to the surface. And that's what this thing is, right? So this dude walks up, and it's the same situation. in essence, it's like, if I'm just out fucking married men, then why don't I just take one in my parking lot that's nice to me, that knows me? Why don't I try to fuck the guy that's, that works here, that's always kind to me, that has a good sense of humor, and that's friendly, that I cry with? Why? Do you know what I mean? In the essence, it's just, I just want to show that. And that's what this situation was meant to be. It's like, no, it's available if I want to break my rules and I want to explore. And that's where the thing is I was ready to break my rules and explore, so how far will I go to, as I said, feed this shadow? She needs somebody. Right? So do I let the, you know what I mean? So that's where it is. It's like, all right, let's let the shadow out. If all she can do is play with this, then we'll let her play with this. No. And that's where it was. It's like, I didn't do anything wrong. I let God figure out what was the right move.
That's not me.
But you have to... One moment.
What?
One moment. 1 minute. 1 minute. Alright, I had to give them the fucking 3rd degree. Maybe it's the 5th. I don't know. Let's keep going on. The star. The star. It says stars. You have followed the birds through the plains of dust and drear, onwards forever, and just as your faith threatens to crumble, the smoke clears, and she is there. A lady of peace beckons you to her pool. She raises the golden chalice before an ancient ritual of restoration. Lay down your burdens here. I have the strength to carry them. It's so funny because that's Ceridwen. Give me your grief and bathe in my pool. What is broken can be mended. What is hurt can be washed clean and restored. You imagine yourself entering the waters and accepting incredible bliss. Keyword, a return of hope, healing, need to clear energy. The last one between this and the one about, the pouring of the water, that's what it said about Sobdat. That's what it said about Sobdat. Well, this seems kind of perfect for the full moon. The shadows lengthen and grow as the shining orb of the moon rises to the zenith, bathing the waste in the strange silver light. Its expression is inscrutable, revealing nothing, just as its pale illumination casts a weird, otherworldly glow. You look into the eyes of a friend and see a complete stranger. Your journey has given you the mind of a mystery, to hear the unspoken and to see the invisible. But if you view the world with this enchanted sight for too long, phantoms emerge from the mist. Keywords, illusions, messages from instinct and intuition. A journey through the darkness, strong psychic information, delusions, and madness. The next card is the Sun, and we'll wait on that because I feel like we should stop here. It's a journey. And why did I read so many? Because I went through a lot. Every tarot deck is to teach you that this is a journey. All of them describe the journey a little bit different. And this one's a dark version of it. So we're walking through the darkness. And that's when Morgan bought these. I was like, these are shadows, bro. You don't want to start this way. She did. And that's how it all starts, is you face your shadows. Every week we face a part of us. And that's what I said, is I'm always meeting myself for the first time. Every week I'm meeting a part of me that I've never visited before. I don't get to choose I could, to disown this part and say it's no good and it's not valuable and we don't need it because it's not polished. But every time I find a part of me, I find this extremely important because it is a part of me that I'm excited to meet, and yet it may not be polished, but it is a version of me that I can polish up and incorporate into my life. So that's what we do all the time around here, is we face our shadows. I shared my whole story with you, but it's a conclusion to the week, only to show you I'm facing another one. What's the next shadow? A part of me that I'm denying, that I do this to people. An unhealed part. I see people, I guess I want to say as prizes, but not to have, just to learn from. Morgan said something to me today. She's like, you just need to get someone on your level. I said, Morgan, if I did that, if I don't lower my standards just a little, then I'll never meet anyone. If I sit around waiting for someone to be on my level, it might never happen. Why? It could be the fact of my spiritual standing. It could be so many different things. But in the fact is, I have to compromise somewhat. That's what got all of, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't compromise. I'm not compromising. I'm not negotiating. I'm not budging. And that's what's making this not work. I'm not willing to compromise. So therefore, it's a stalemate. Asking someone else, and that's what I realized, in that conversation. It's like, all right, I'm willing to compromise, but then I realized he's not. It's like, okay, I can compromise my rules, but you can't. So then it's also, again, I didn't see this. I didn't see this. I didn't see this, bro. I did not see this. That I was meeting on his terms all the time. That it had to be on his terms. And that's why it was never working, is that I wanted it on my terms. And I wasn't getting it my way. So then I went to meet on the terms that were available, and I realized that wasn't even real to begin with. So when Morgan said that, she's like, I can't hold out forever, is what I'm realizing. I find fault in people and use that as ammunition to walk away. A good example is Russ. I tell Russ all the time, you're fucking impossible. I could never. I can look at all of his things, all of his unhealed qualities, and say that I could never be, you know what I mean? But that's my rigidity. That has nothing to do with him. Because, you know what I mean? That's just my standards. And that's what I keep saying. So he's always trying to show that he's healing and he's a better person and he's becoming better. In essence, he's trying to compete all the time, which is twice as annoying. Him and Wolfman trying to pretend that they're on my level. I feel like you're doing the same thing, Mike Stud. I'm not wanting someone to be on my level. I just want someone to be honest and true. And that puts you immediately on my level. Morgan's cool, and that's what I told her. I was like, she's just truthful, bro. How can you not love a person that's truthful? It was like, she never lied to me before. And when that moment happened, and I asked her and she didn't lie to me, I knew from that moment on. Because if there was ever a moment to lie, it should have been then. It was like, she's not going to lie to me, no matter how hard this is going to be. And it's like, I can expect that from her, but it goes both ways. She knows I'm never going to lie to her. And I might hurt her fucking feelings. But she knows that I'm never going to lie. And that's a good foundation. You know what I mean? There's some things, and that's where it is. I don't fuck around with people that got problems like this. But then, you know what I mean? I have to bend, compromise, be more understanding, be more kind. You know what I mean? Less rigid, less structured. it's not about, it's kind of interesting because I throw these twin flame bitches, these, you know, wannabe divine feminines all over the place. They think they've got it down, and then it's like, no, that's the extreme. You got to jump back over on this side. In the sense of, you want to be all independent, you want to stay in your lane, and you want to make sure that they rise to the occasion. Yes, but you don't want to be unapproachable. You don't want to be impossible, right? So I was being impossible. There's some places in life that I notice I'm just being impossible. I'm not being, you know what I mean? I don't know. And when she said that, she's like, she really called me out on it. She's like, I think it's just the conquest. Like, you're just, you know what I mean? And he's probably afraid of that. And that's true. When she said that, I was like, I think they all are. If they've been paying attention. I'm going to leave you after I'm done with you. Where does that come from? We got some shadow work to do. So that's what I said. As soon as I close one, I find another. It's like as soon as I put down one part of me, then I'm facing another part of me that's unhealed, that I need to face, that I'm not sure from. I don't know why it treats people like this. I'm not exactly sure if this is healthy or unhealthy. I'm sure that just looking at it, it needs some healing. You can't be all that way. And that's what I say all the time. You're just a challenge. You're nothing more than a challenge for me. You're just here to teach me a lesson, and after I learn, I can move on. And that's why I was trying so hard to do with this guy. As soon as I figure this out, bro, I'm getting you out of my life. And that's what I tell all of them. I'm going to figure this out and get rid of you once and for all. So then you think about it. He's like, I tell him I just want, you know what I mean? That. It's like, well, after I give it to her, she's not going to want me no more. Probably is what he did. And it's probably true. We face a lot of truths around here. But it's probably true, and Morgan said it. It's probably true if I just, you know what I mean? And that's Knight of Wands, or just a mentality. I don't think women just have that mentality. And yet, what was I doing? Projecting it and saying that was him. Now the question is it him or is it me? Or are we mirroring like a motherfucker? Scary, huh? That's where you can't really tell. It doesn't matter anymore. You just gotta fix it. Whether it's theirs or yours, you just gotta fix this. Because you're the one stuck in it. Well, I was. And that's what I thought was funny. I thought it was really funny that here comes another one. If I wasn't married, I'd make you mine. Yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of married men that would, if they weren't married, would want to marry me. It's not useful for me. But it teaches all you married men not to do this. Just set yourself free and go find you, go let a woman love you. Don't do this. Don't get caught in this. Don't be that guy. Is he trying to hurt people? No. He's already hurt. He's just trying to be happy. He's just trying to find some bit of happiness. And that's the same thing. I can relate to that. Why do you talk to him? He makes me happy. There's some bit of happiness that I don't get, that I do get with him. So does that make either of us bad people? Or just unhealed that are looking for, love in the wrong places, as they said in our cards? I go back to this. It's like, I tried to turn this off and stuff, but you go back to the very beginning. Forget the twin flame before he was my twin flame. It was nice to have an attraction after all that devastation. And again, I liked him in a way that I never liked anyone else way back when. So it was a blessing to have something new after all of this terrible shit. Now, when he comes back, it wasn't a blessing because I still had all those feelings, but I couldn't release them because of the current situation. And then I had to, because I couldn't control the feelings. I had to, and that's what Tree said, you just got to give in to this. Because it was driving me crazy, trying to just turn him off all the time. Turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. And so I've been doing that for 3 years, and it's finally like, all right, just give in. And when I finally gave in to Russ, it just went away. So it's like, all right, just give in. And as soon as I do, it's like, it almost like it's gone away. And that's why I looked at it. I was like, if this actually does happen, it's either going to start something or end something. That's what I said. This is either going to start something new or it's going to end it for sure. Am I calculative? Nah, not really. Just trying to do the right thing. And that's where I had to go back to my training. It's like, what's stopping me? My mind. My mind's telling me no. And I teach this to you guys, but I couldn't catch my own fucking teaching. I wasn't catching my own healing. Because just like you, I wouldn't give in to my feelings. Welcome. And then I did, and then what happened? Nothing. I got rejected again. I guess. That's how you can look at it. I don't feel like I did. Not at all. Not with Smiley down in the parking lot. And you know, I just want to point that out. I've heard a lot of these stories about these guys sleeping around with these single women in this building, bro. Morgan says it. They be sleeping around. They be sleeping around. Dude, Diana told me that the other dude that I talked to, she's like, dude, he offered me. I was like, really? It's like, yeah. Your wife's up on the 4th floor. It's like, you got some Lilith in you, huh? It's like, we better watch out. Is it like they're trying to do us a community service, or the fact that they're unhappy with these bitches, bro? Why are there dudes running around our parking lot trying to fucking hook up with other women? Single, homeless women. They're horny? They have a woman upstairs, bro. Why aren't they fucking that woman? They're unhappy, bro. It's real. That's crazy, huh? I'm just tripping off the age. It's always some young guy. When is it ever going to be somebody my age? Oh, it's funny. Even if he said he thought I was 35, he was going to try to tell me what? He was 28? Bro, you don't look 20-something. Nothing. Nothing. Now I'm going to feel weird every time I see you. Alright, that was the shadows. We got another round tomorrow. I'm gonna sleep on this and try to figure this one out. Because that's the next thing is and I said that, I treat people very disposable. And therefore people don't want to get hurt. They don't want to get close because I'm just going to push them away or throw them away. Oh man, I got some healing to do. Anyways, yeah. I guess that was another thing the future husband was always worried about. Nah, bro. I guess. I don't know. It's just, it is what it is, and that's what it is. And that's what I said. That's what I said. I played the Beatles. Get it? The Beatles? The Beatle that I got back there? It's like, let it be. You can't really take that back, and I didn't do anything. How can you... You can't back out of that. You just put yourself in a corner. A really crazy one, and you're just standing there with your face in the corner while I walk away. I don't know how that happened, but everything happens for a reason and a season. And that's where it is. We needed to, again, I realized what was happening, and I asked God for something new. But it wasn't done yet. Is it done? I think so. I always say that. I don't feel like after I know what it was and that I can get that anywhere, I think we have a problem. I think we have a problem, bro. What did Morgan say? Not everybody is replaceable. So here's the deal, right? God gave me this love for all these twin flames that I can't control, but yet spend all this time controlling it and trying not to give it to them. So God gives me this unbelievable fucking attraction for this guy that I just could be trying to control because it's morally wrong and I don't want to be a homewrecker. Fine, I'll give in to this stupid love. And then it just goes away. I didn't want to love Russ because, again, just pridefully, I feel like, you know, just like she said, he's not worthy of good things. I see that the same way. It's like, you don't deserve my fucking time and energy. No girl of any good standing should be talking to a loser like you. You're an absolute fucking... And that's what... That's the second thing I told him, and I think he got upset. I was like, I told you this twice. Your jokes aren't funny. And I was very serious. He was making jokes. I was like, they're not funny. Let's just leave it to I'm the funny one. Again, that's kind of challenging a manhood. I mean, it's true. Your condescending jokes are not funny. They're like the shit that's coming out of your mouth isn't making anyone laugh. Are you laughing or are you just trying to sound witty? It's kind of, you know, situation there. So there was a couple things that definitely blew that one out the water. There's my boat. Playing Battleship out here. Sink that motherfucker. No, I mean... Ultimately, a part of me wants the whole package. But I have to learn the hard way that these guys are Reese's Pieces to a package. It's like, I like this. And that's what people do all with their life, is they make up this, you know, this body count of what they're looking for and what they're not looking for anymore. Like, you go through this evolution of people to find the right person. So you look at it, it's like, you know, we could have been something great, but this was lacking. And that's where it is. Every relationship was great, but it was lacking something. And that's where you got to keep going and not just go without. You know what I mean? So, like, you have great sex, but they don't cook. Or, you know what I mean? Like, whatever the case may be, you guys have this, but you don't have that. You have, you know what I mean? You have, you know, good fucking financial bonds, but you don't have any intimacy or whatever. There's still pieces missing to this puzzle. And that's what we're working on, is to find somebody not fully checks every box, but has the qualities of the things that we liked in the past. We're looking for something familiar, whether you want to admit it or not. We're looking for the next person to have something that the other person had made us feel. The good stuff, not the bad stuff. You know what I mean? So we have a wish list of all of these experiences that each person gave us a good feel, and we want the next person to have, you know, well, I want my next person to be funny. I really want someone else to be funny. I want to laugh too. I don't want to be the funniest person in the fucking room. You know what I mean? I want somebody that is emotionally mature. I would have never said that before. I didn't understand the full definition of that, but I need somebody that's emotionally mature. Meaning, I won't even say emotionally mature. Let's not say that, because we're all working on the maturity of our emotions. Emotionally available. That you're not going to check out like this guy every time, you know what I mean? This is crazy. Like, every time it gets difficult, like, I'm just not going to talk to him. I'm just going to run away from this whole conversation. I have so much sympathy. And that's what I said. I have so much sympathy for you because I run away from everybody when it gets tough. I disappear. I don't talk to them. It's the end of the conversation. I have so much sympathy because we're mirroring this. And it's cool. And that's where it is. You see yourself in them. Like, you're doing what I did in the beginning. I was like, I don't know if it works for you. It didn't work for me. Maybe it does. I don't know. Hey, Twin Flames, if you're able to fucking forget me and move on, go on with your bad self, bro. That's all I ever sit around here trying to do. Since the beginning. Just trying to move on from you. I realized I can't. That you're part of this. And I gotta, you know, just accept it. And that's what I wasn't. Especially with Bobby. I was not letting him into this. I didn't even see a purpose. What fucking purpose do you share? You have nothing to do with any of us. You don't sing, you don't write, you're not creative, you're not any of the things that we are. Why are you even in this fucking soul tribe? Oh, well, there has to be a regular old man like Adam. Okay. Okay. I guess I'm gonna end on this is highest level that I learn right now is what I'm learning right now is pay attention to what is the attraction. What brings you guys together? Alright? Is that something that you can only get with this person, or something you're only giving to this person? Just understanding attractions, I guess, is where we're at right there. Because once I understood the attraction, I was able to understand the need, the desire, whatever it was, and I can, move in that. But when you don't understand it and you're fighting all of it, then it becomes more difficult. I wanted something from, going back to it, it's like the husband and father and, to become the high priest in my life. That's ultimately what I want from everyone. But little by little, you realize they can't be that. And you have to either accept that they can't be what you want and just take what you, I won't say don't want, but possibly, or you keep going after what you want. I can only have, I can only be this way, I can only have this with this and this and this. It's limiting. You can't be your full self with these people. You want to find the person that you can be your full self with, is what I'm looking for. But it doesn't mean that it's got to be somebody that's on my mental level, because I don't think anybody will be. I teach you how to mentally ascend. And again, it's taken me years, and you're probably just starting, so there's no way you can be on my mental level. And that's as far as astral projecting, talking to dead people. And you know what I mean? In the essence of, I'm an unconscious being. I'm an unconscious being that works through the consciousness. You guys are just a mass conscious beings. There's a huge difference there. But in order for me to become an unconscious being, I had to work through the mass consciousness, just like you will. So it's not like you can't get on my level, but expecting you to get there without me showing you, that's impossible. Because I'm the only one that's done this, that I know of. There are enlightened individuals, but there's no fully awoken transcendental beings that have gone back to the source of creation and go back all the time and meet all creation of time. So yeah, I'm pretty far from you on that, but this is how it got me there, is breaking down repressed memories, emotions, and reprogramming the mind based on the spirit's knowing. And when do we do this? A Friday then. We especially do it on Friday, but we were facing 10 days of shadows before you guys got here. So we should be back on schedule after this. Tomorrow is our full moon. I will pick up tomorrow morning after I pay my phone bill, obviously. We will continue to do this shadow work because I'm into a new one. Like I said, I need to see this and heal this too. Really? Yeah. I mean, I can't look at people as missions, because then there's a division. Do you know what I mean? I'm not giving them an openness to surprise me or anything. I just look at it as, you know what I mean? A mission. A conquest. A victory is what it is. I look at everyone that God brings me as that. God brought you here to teach me a lesson. So I'll sit around and I'll wait till you teach me the lesson, and then we'll be done. And that's why I don't have any friends or anybody. Because once I learn my lesson, I'm out. She had a point. I gotta work on that. Maybe you do too. Hey, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Laters, losers.